If we're talking about greatness on the D&M Leasing Hotline, we bring to you just elected to the Hall of Fame. Rangers fans, we love him. So does everybody else. It is Adrian Beltre. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing great. I got to know, was there you looked really calm and cool when the Baseball Hall of Fame called you. Was there any internal nerves, or were you like, nah, man, I got this?
No nerves. I just waiting. Obviously, you're not sure the call's going to come in, but once I saw the name Cooper Sound coming into the cell phone, I was relieved because, it's a little awkward moment where you just don't know for sure if the call's coming in or not, but you just glad it's over. So, and I was glad that, when I saw the call that it was going to be, I assumed it was going to be then. And, I was just happy that everybody enjoy it at the moment. And so now I get to kind of sit back and let it all settle in.
Did anybody else call you that you had to quickly answer and hang up and be like, call me back later, I'm waiting for an important call?
Well, nobody from outside. Actually, my daughter, my smaller, my young one, she called their home phone just to make sure that everything was working, because we're kind of sitting there for maybe 15 minutes expecting the call. And everybody thought that was going to be the call. And then she said, no, that was me. So everybody got a little crack out of that.
I thought for sure watching on MLB Network, Adrian, that Elvis was going to hop up from behind the couch and start rubbing your head.
It crossed my mind that Elvis might do something like that. But, I was glad that he stayed here in Texas and kind of just, saw it all the way in MLB.
Did he give you a call afterwards?
We were talking before that, and we text back and forth because he probably expected that I was going to be super busy answering calls and doing interviews and all the stuff. So, but we actually had a long conversation via text. But I'll see him today.
Adrian, what does it mean to you to be in the Hall of Fame? And is it the recognition of what you did throughout your career, or kind of being alongside the other names of the game? What's the meaning? What's the most meaningful part of it for you?
To be honest, it hasn't set in yet. But I think for me, it's like being named along those greats of the game that, players that I admire, players that are my idol. And I'm going to have the chance to be in the same podium with those guys. For me, it just says it all. I never expected to be here. But I'm humble. I'm completely honored to be called Hall of Fame and be in the same conversation with those greats of baseball.
Is there anybody in particular in that group, especially when you talk about your idols that maybe you grew up emulating or watching, that you specifically think of and be like, wow, me and this person are now going to be in the same hall?
I can go down the list. If you talk about Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., I was a huge fan of Pedro Martinez. I can go down the list with guys that I never thought about even being close to it. But it's just amazing the fact that you guys are going to have to, mention my name along those guys. It's just really humbling.
The part also that the Rangers have a World Series to go along with you going into the Hall of Fame, kind of in the same time period. Here we are celebrating that. What did Texas mean to you in that last stretch of your career?
Texas has meant a lot to me and my career and my family. I think they embraced me when I got here. They make me feel comfortable. The fans, the front office, everybody just so welcoming and grateful. And I'm grateful for them because they took a risk of signing a guy that allegedly was a contract, player. The way that he received me, the way that the fans were supporting the team, the teammates that I found here, everything was was meant to be, I think. And obviously, the Rangers has a lot to do with what I'm at right now.
I want to take this time to apologize because I was one of those media folks who was concerned about you being a contract player when you came here. I'm sorry for being really stupid and for being really, really, really wrong about that. I hope you will forgive me.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Thank you.
Adrian, I got to play against you when you were on the Dodgers and I was on the Mets. And I was wondering this, when you were playing for the Rangers, there seemed to be, you're a great player with the Dodgers too, but there seemed to be this freedom that you would have this playful thing with Elvis, or if you got on the bases and you got in a rundown, you might jog into the outfield to get out of the rundown. And I was wondering when that kind of happened in your career. Was it in Seattle? Was it maybe in Boston? I remember it seemed like you and Victor Martinez were kind of, he was kind of maybe your Elvis there in Boston. I was wondering when that kind of changed.
That I only had that in me. I only enjoyed the game, but when I came to the big leagues, back in '98, you were rookie for about 6-7 years. That's how the league was. And I was always trying to be respectful and not do anything wrong because I understood that I was just lucky enough to be in the big leagues. But I think everything started when I was in Seattle. I was struggling a lot, and I was not having fun. I was not enjoying the game, and I just did not enjoy being on the field at that time because I felt that I wasn't doing good, the team wasn't doing good, so I thought it was all my fault. It probably was. So anyways, after that, I went through a stretch of being not happy what I was doing, and I had a long talk with my wife and the family, and they kind of make me wake up and realize that it's just a game. If I go home the next day, have my family, I'll be fine. So after that, I just say, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to be myself, play the game, and play hard and enjoy what I do. And I think that was the main key why I started to have more success, because I just played for me and having fun, not for the fans and expecting to, answer a contract that's supposed to be filled.
I'm glad you mentioned that part of your personality when you decided to have fun with the game, because my co-host Kevin once, while we were at spring training, he was supposed to get hit in the junk by Prince Fielder with a wiffle ball bat, and you said, "Hey, I'll make that happen right now. I got a baseball bat. Let's do this." Does he still need to take that, or have we passed that? Are you going to let that one go?
Well, we still have time.
I don't think I've ever been more scared in my entire life, because I go, well, it was complicated, and you looked right at me and said, no, it's not complicated. I'll get a bat right now. And you pulled out an actual bat, and I thought, oh, no, this is going to be terrible.
The other thing, Adrian, we saw while we were at spring training, we got to see some epic moments. One of my favorite moments ever was you were out in the outfield and you were pitching to your son, and he was hitting, I think he was standing near second base, and he was hitting home runs over our heads. And we were just like, oh my gosh, young Beltre has some power there. Would you mind talking a little bit about like what he's grown into and what you like about that, and those memories, like being able to do that with your kids must have been an absolute blast.
Yes, that was my finest moment in the game. Just be able to bring my son to the stadium and spend an hour or two before practice just to get him to enjoy himself. Because I always wanted my son to love baseball the way I did, and he does now. And I couldn't wait when he was on vacation from school and he was able to come and enjoy it. I think that was the joy of my day that day. And that was great for me to start the day. And after that, he would go shower and go back to the clubhouse, and I was happy to be a dad, for a couple hours, because, as you know, we didn't get a lot of chance to get to enjoy our kids. Our wives are the ones that kind of raise our kids because we didn't go. And for me, it was those moments where they were priceless. And to today, he remembered those times. And he grew up to follow my lead so far. He loves baseball. He's a grown man right now. He's 17, but he still remembers those times.
And how crazy is it to you to think about, you talked about Willie Mays, Pedro Martinez, so many others, that your son and probably thousands of other people have grown up in this sport saying, I want to be like Adrian Beltre?
It's crazy, you know. Even when I work with my son offensively and defensively, I never bring my name into it. I always bring somebody else. Because I don't know, for whatever reason, I just show, you know, swings of Pujols or Trout, not myself, because I just don't see myself that way. He catch a lot of things that I did when I play. I don't have to tell him, but, you know, for me, it's just humbling to even think that people see me that way. So I'm glad that I was able to play it long enough and be good enough just so people wanted to follow my footsteps.
Well, all of us Rangers fans are ecstatic. You are the 19th player in the history of baseball to get 95% or more votes for the Hall of Fame. Congratulations so much to you. So glad you're enjoying it, and we appreciate the time, good sir.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.